This is Bruce. This is Tex. This is Gabby. Born 2001, color bay, bred.
Our horses here at Saddle Up, they are a special breed. Not a specific breed, a special breed.
This is Dumpling.
We do have some of the best horses here at Saddle Up.
This is Lucy.
They're good peers for our kids.
All of our horses at Saddle Up are donated horses. And for 90 days, they go through a pretty hard training. If the horse passes all its evaluations, it comes into lessons. They just have to be able to take anything. They can carry the world on their shoulders. And we just have to have horses that love people. Each horse, once they get into the program, they have a horse trading card. And on the front is a picture, and on the back is some stats. So it's kind of like a baseball card.
Gus, Treasure, Sherman, Lucy.
Eric is an aficionado.
Hershey.
It's been said that Eric has the world's largest privately held collection of Saddle Up trading cards.
Eric is 16 years old. He's very sweet, very kind. I knew something was up when he was 1. He had been keeping up with his peers, then he quit. The 2 words he had at about age 2 went away. We went for our diagnosis, and he's classically autistic.
When we got a diagnosis, there was a period where we're just trying to get our feet under us.
You get a lot of information with the diagnosis about what services are out in the community, and one of the things was Saddle Up.
Autism spectrum disorder is the most common disability that we see here at Saddle Up. Approximately 1 in 68 children in the United States are affected by autism. One of the benefits of therapeutic riding for children with autism is that the horse is almost like a person that the children can relate to.
When they come out here, they know this horse is their horse to work with that day, and it does create a bond, and they can start communicating with the horse and then eventually communicating with staff and family.
Like all children with autism, Eric struggles with communication and interpersonal relationships. But one day, probably a year or 2 in, he saw me and he went, "Hi, Mom." And it was the first time Eric ever said hi to me. That was really wonderful. And then I could see that he was progressing.
Yeah, you're doing good. Eric, you've got Bailey. Go get him ready with Miss Dana.
One of the benefits of Saddle Up for people on the spectrum is the routine. You know, you go back and you groom and you tack and you saddle them up. You know, so you have all the sensory input, lots of smells and different textures, and then you go into the lesson.
Individuals with autism sometimes have difficulty with independence. And we are fortunate that therapeutic riding kind of allows us to build independent skills.
When you get to the gate on this long side, I want you to ask Bailey to trot.
It's a huge confidence boost. Any child just wants to be independent, to have something that they're really good at.
At Saddle Up, you put Eric on this great big animal and you teach a sense of coordination and communication and following instructions and at the same time giving instructions. We see it as sort of a part of a longer continuum of how he becomes a more fully realized person.
Eric needs a horse he can hug. And so Eric started riding Bailey this session.
I ride Bailey at Saddle Up. Bailey is my horse.
One thing that we see when children are participating in adaptive riding is that they tend to want to talk about this.
People brush Bailey's mane. I comb her tail and mane.
And so for children with autism, a disorder where oftentimes language is implicated, to have something that they want to talk about and something they want to share with others is huge. So I was really happy to see that Eric was doing this school project on Saddle Up.
So Eric, Dad told me that you have some questions for me.
How many hands high is Bailey?
Bailey is 15.3 hands high.
He's going to then take that and share it with his teacher and his classmates. That can be huge for children with autism.
So I heard that your collection was missing a Bailey card. So Bailey wanted to make sure that you got your very own Bailey trading card. This is from Bailey.
The people at Saddle Up have just been outstanding.
Now you have a Bailey card.
To have something like Saddle Up, where at the same time that this very productive and effective experience is going on, we know that he's getting something meaningful and worthwhile in his life. That's pretty sweet.